Woo! I think the heat's getting in my brain. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, June 12th, 2015, episode 009 of the Friday 5 e-commerce and tech talk. Today, we have with us, all the way up in New York City, Mr. Bart Mroz.
It's now sponsored by Kind Bars.
Oh,
not really, because I just happen to have one.
Addicted to those things.
Yeah. So our friends here love to bring me one almost every day now. So I get to get, and these ones are the new ones. So that only 5 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
You
get the ones with the chili powder in them.
Oh, they're fantastic. This is dark chocolate, nuts, and sea salt.
Yes.
Maybe they'll actually sponsor it if we talk about it this way.
Yes. Well, you know what? I'll go to run to get my Kind Bars. I got a whole stack of them downstairs.
Perfect.
All right. We have you up in New York City, and unfortunately, the chubby, tattooed, bearded one is not joining us today. Justin Nance, way down there in Alabama. He's a little busy guy, busy man.
We have him slaving today, kind of.
Yeah, he's actually working for a living, so that's okay. It's all good. So we're going to push forth. We're going to do the show, and let's get rocking and rolling. First, we're going to talk about WWDC, and specifically the changes to Apple Pay.
Yeah, they're upgrading their Apple Pay stuff, which is awesome. It looks like there's going to be more places, including UK.
Yeah. As the rollout, 70% of all debit and credit cards will be accepted in the UK, which is pretty astounding.
Yeah, they're renaming Passbook to Wallet, which is awesome, so that you can use your gift cards now in there.
I never did that. Did it always take gift cards? Because Wallet was one of those apps that I shunted off to like the last screen.
Right.
Or Passbook.
Yes, depends on what gift card. I think if you got them electronically. I actually have it on my front screen because I use it for Apple Pay now, but also have like my Starbucks card in there, and then like if I fly, all the tickets and stuff like that go in there.
Yeah, that's great. So put your airline and put your loyalty. What else?
The same. If people are using Eventbrite for like tickets to get into like shows or events, that shows up too.
So I'll just shove it right in there.
Yep.
So I read the one thing, it does a predictive thing where if it knows you're in a certain store, it'll prompt you to use that loyalty card, which I think is amazing.
So it in the old version or current version, say you're at the airport, it will pop up like the JetBlue or whatever you're flying at that moment.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. They're going to do a lot more stuff with it, which is awesome. I think it's the way to go. Obviously, Android released theirs. See how that, that's a good thing. I think this, like, why have cards, right? And the interestingest part is like now all those, all the like coin and plastic and all Stratus and stuff like that, they're all coming out, but it's like,
right
on my phone.
Right, exactly.
It's like, why? There's no point in it. At least I don't think it is.
And we can talk about Square, which...
yes. So that's the additional. So Square released their little dangle thingy. It's a contactless chip reader where you can use Apple Pay with, or you can use
the different chip cards.
Yeah, different chip cards, which is awesome because almost everybody started to use those. Like all my cards have them now because if you go anywhere besides here right now, everywhere in Europe, that's the only thing they usually use.
Right. So that's been a standard, but I understand that the merchants have until October of this year to switch over.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the equipment will lag behind, and I'm sure there's going to be some glitch between here and there.
Which is great. I think to me, it's great for, small merchants, right? Who already have Square. All you have to do is pop this in, ready to go. And, how cool is it to just go to, a little type of coffee shop? Like you go to Starbucks, it's like, boom, done, you out of there, right? You don't have to do anything. I barely get my headphones out.
I was telling you this morning about my banking woes. We got the new debit card, and it was perfectly smooth. And Sue was like, why are there no numbers in there? I'm like,
none of them are doing it.
Nobody uses this anymore. with the carbon copies. That's why they had to raise numbers. Now you can just go in the bank and they go, whoop, there's your debit card.
Yeah, well, TD Bank has been doing it forever. Like, that was the funniest part. TD Bank was one of the first ones that did it, and you're like, here's your card. There you go.
Yeah, there's a little printer.
I actually have a story. 3 years ago, I got stuck in Atlanta flying back home because missed, and I stayed in a very, very crappy hotel, but whatever. And they got Chinese food because that's the only thing that was open. But I was hungry, whatever. And that's the only thing that was open like at midnight in wherever the hell I was. And the Chinese guy comes over. He's like, I can't. Because you don't even need the machine. You can just take the papers,
right? Just rub it.
And just do it with a pen. And he's like, let me just write it down for the love of God.
And that's why I still carry a small amount of cash.
I literally, it was midnight. It was like whatever. It's just like I'm over it. I was like, whatever, dude. But that was pretty funny. That was really funny.
All right. Moving on, we're going to talk about a new thing called the Chronos smartwatch disc. So obviously, everyone's into smartwatches now, but there's a few of us out there that like a traditional watch, but would like to have the convenience of wrist notifications. So this company Chronos, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of information, but Chronos has made this disc that applies to the back. So it basically applies to the back of the watch, and I assume will sync with your phone and will give you notifications on your wrist, like you just.
Right. So next Friday, we're actually gonna Pebbles will be here, so I get to play with those.
Awesome. So this is neat. So it you can tap the watch to activate your phone. You can silence incoming calls, control music playback.
It's kind of cool.
It's neat. I like it because it's simple. It's very limited in what it does. For instance, like I told you, I wore that Casio thing, and all I wanted was just to tell me when something I needed to know was going on in my phone, so I didn't have to look at my phone all the time, and that worked great. It's ugly as watching the world.
Nice.
But yeah, just something that's simple. You take it to the extreme where you have the Apple Watch where it's like out of the box, you're notified about everything. I think that would make me completely mental.
Well, I mean, so the funny thing is I had the Pebble and that was kind of okay for Fitbit. I don't like the design of it. It's plastics, whatever. Obviously it was a Kickstarter thing. It was kind of fun. But I got the Wittings watch and it tracks activity. It tracks your sleep. It will wake you up, right? And it's a pretty watch. Putting something like that on top of that, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I think that I like the watch look. You know what I mean? Apple Watch is gorgeous, but I don't know. It
sends that statement that, look, I have a smartwatch.
Yeah. Right. But I love watches. Like, I love the look of a good watch, right?
Same here. See, and I think when you wear something like an Apple Watch, it's basically saying, oh, here, I have another piece of technology. And it's just,
Yeah, when I had the Pebble and, the current Pebble and stuff like that, it lasted me for about a day. And I'm like, all right, fuck these notifications. I'm done. Like, I can't. I mean, my phone buzz is enough, and especially what I do. It's kind of like, being
I can't do it anymore.
Right. I mean, I finally, I'm playing with Mail right now, which Mail client I want to use for my phone. And, Google will not let you do specific notifications. It does all of them. So I just, forget it. I can't have notifications on because as much email as I do every day.
Right. So you can't filter what it sends you. So you're getting every sale notice and the email list and all the other garbage.
Well, it's like that, just regular email, right?
Right.
I don't even want to get that half the time. So getting notifications on your arm all the time is kind of like, I was at an event and, you're like, all right, so I can ignore my phone because it's kind of rude to just kind of oh, my phone's coming on, I'm talking to somebody, right? But doing kind of like this.
That's all the time. So let me ask you, how is Bob dealing with his watch?
Usually instead of looking like this, he's looking like this.
So he's still got everything turned on, full blast, like a fire hose.
God.
Does he read every email that comes through?
I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, we're going to implant that in his head one day. Actually,
well, he'll be on the beta list, I'm sure.
God.
All right. The next thing we got is out of the Google I/O conference last week. There's that one group called the ATAP. What is it? ATAP?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. It's their ATAP unit.
And they have, what's really neat is they have all these projects that are in development. Some may see this the day of light, and some of them might not. You know, like Project Aria, which is the modular phone, and then they had what was the other one? I'm very unprepared today. Project Soli, which is that predictive touch thing. One thing we thought was cool was called Project Jacquard. The Project Jacquard. Basically, what that is it's sewing sensors into fabric.
Right.
And they demoed a possibility of this, and they had a piece of fabric, and you could basically, they had the phone sitting next to it, and you could control your music player by swipes on your pants.
Right. So I think there's a lot of those applications that could be happening, like in everyday use. I'm not sure, but think about hospitals, military, those kind of applications. I think would be awesome.
Yeah, where you have to do something where it's like you can't reach for a phone and you've got to send an alert or send a message or do something that instead of interacting with a piece of technology, you're kind of in a situation like this is as much time as you have to deal with it.
Right. I think that's going to be cool when it comes to in everyday use. I mean, do you really want to get intimate with your girlfriend or wife and stuff like that? And, she touches your pants and instead of, the reaction, your phone just goes off.
Right. You're making out with your girlfriend. All of a sudden Black Sabbath starts playing on your Sony. She doesn't like Black Sabbath. She's into Kanye. And then it's a big mess.
Exactly. Or it could be in like an alert mode, right? Or like you guys are making out, you press the button and it alerts her boyfriend.
Right. Owner alert.
Owner alert.
And let's not even, what about, the whole waterproof aspect of it? I mean, this isn't something you can go swimming in, so.
I think you can. I think those kind of devices are going to be there because they're low energy and most of that stuff is built in to not transfer that much sort of.
So that's a good point. So where does the energy come from? Is it just a small flat battery or how does that?
So for those kind of trials, I think it's a small battery, but I think what they're going to do is all electricity done by you, basically.
Ah, got it. So if you have it on your pants, it's going to by you walking down the street.
Yep. So friction energy, basically.
A hipster jerk off walking down the street doing this playlist like this.
Well, a guy with very baggy pants will make less energy than, a hipster with very...
Hipster, right.
Because, that's like...
See, it all comes back. Hipsters are going to control the world.
Always. All right, on to the next story.
Next on the list, we're going to talk about Shopify and Facebook. I think it's really going to change online shopping through Facebook. Because it's very easy to do a Shopify store on Facebook right now, but you have to go to the merchant's Facebook page to see the store tab. And you know how most people use Facebook. It's this. They're not clicking on individual pages. They're constantly in the feed. Yep. So if you're a merchant and you want to say, hey, come look at my t-shirt, either go to my Shopify store. They're not even going to direct them to the Facebook page. The Facebook Shopify tab is basically like an afterthought. It's like, oh, if you're looking at my page and you're wondering if I should follow you, hopefully you're going to click on that link and et cetera, et cetera. This way, it's in the feed and you can place products for sale right in your feed with the buy button.
Right. It just goes. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. Like, it's going to be great for merchants to put a button. It's like it's a better version of a PayPal button, basically.
Yeah. It's great. So I guess Facebook how does it work? Where does Facebook get money from this, or what's the fee structure? I didn't read anything about that.
I don't think Facebook did anything. It's just more of, it's just part of the sort of being a partner type of thing. I think that's the whole idea, right? Because then they could put ads in, and then you can buy ads and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right. So the example I have here is you see it in the feed, and then you see a carousel left, right. So the guy sells jewelry. You're in the feed. Hey, look at my new products. And then there's a side carousel swipe. I could imagine Facebook hijacking a part of that carousel for some kind of advertising.
Ads are because they can, you can buy ads. So basically think about this. You buy an ad on Facebook, and then this displays with a buy button. It's like a full thing going on.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I think it's got a lot of potential.
It has tons of potential. I think it's where people look at stuff. It's where recommendation come from. All this kind of Facebook is one of those places, right? I think it's all going to be there.
Is there any possibility to the rumor of Facebook buying Shopify? I wouldn't want to see it, but
I don't think so. At least not yet. Shopify just went public like two weeks ago, so
yeah, so it's not going to happen for a while. But
they might. That'd be kind of interesting for them. But they've bought shopping cart type things before. There was a gifting thing they bought because they were trying to do it. They bought it.
I remember that.
The gifting thing.
You sent me that mug that was shaped like the camera lens through there.
Right.
You could say, hey, it's John's birthday. We want to buy him something.
Yep. And it was one of the best workflows ever because it was like, I bought something and like it went to you, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What's your address?
So why was that discontinued? Do you know?
Facebook bought them and then they didn't have any luck with it.
Yeah, I don't think the numbers were big enough.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I think this is going to work for a small merchant who's controlling his, he's doing his marketing through Facebook.
Right. I think it's the next iteration, so it'll be interesting what they do with it, unless they change that gifting thing to do that.
Right.
Maybe.
Very good. Now we're up to the product of the week. This company is creating, how do we explain this? Basically a way to protect your crown jewels from phone radiation. These are radiation-proof boxer shorts.
All right, so these phones obviously emit a lot. I'm sorry, but they do. I try to talk on the phone through headphones as much as I can because I know that they did do. I mean, I don't care what the studies are. I don't care what. There's a lot of tech that goes on this puppy. And there's two-way radio waves that goes through it. Carrying them in your pocket, especially your front pocket a lot, might be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, and not even just the radiation that is or isn't coming from the phone, but also the heat. I mean, it's known that chefs, have lower testosterone or sperm count because they're leaning up against the hot stove all the time.
Yep, all the time.
So basically, you should not heat your balls. You shouldn't put anything hot near your balls.
Or, put your laptop on top of them, like all that kind of stuff. Like
Exactly.
It's very, it's as funny as maybe that's actually not that funny. So it's weird. So in New York, what's strange is I've, lived in the cities for so long, I automatically put my wallet and my phone in my front pocket. It's just a thing.
Right.
Rarely, I will put in my back pocket, but it has to be like jeans that they're pretty tight and I know it's there.
A shirt over top because now with the bigger phones too, it's definitely sticking out.
Yep. So, but that's a natural thing when you live in cities for so long. It's a natural thing to put it in because it just on subways, forget it. You get pickpocketed like crazy. Now I want to see somebody try to do that from my front pocket and not lose their arm, but that's besides the point.
Well, yeah, she's cute.
And doing a reach around. So there's that. But other than that, yeah, that'd be kind of interesting for this shirts to come out. People are starting to make like underwear and undershirts that are like cooling and stuff like that, which is great for the Northeast, especially right now.
Sure.
But protecting it, as funny as that product might be, actually, that's not a bad idea.
No, it's actually kind of a serious thing. And I applaud them for finding a little niche.
you know.
Not in America. Apparently, it's not a USA thing. It's these guys are in Europe and they're selling for 30 euros. Oof. Price would be 30 to 35 euros, double what Calvin Klein boxers sell for. And they're not making them for women because, according to these guys, the women's reproductive organs are higher up in the body, and they usually carry their phones in a purse anyway. So they're not even going to go down that road.
Correct. Yeah. So that's interesting. Anyway, so we're actually going to throw one more thing because we can.
One more thing.
So yesterday I finally received the to-do cooling system thingy.
Tado?
I don't know. It was like a year ago that I put like Kickstarter thing. So it's a little box. I don't have it with me because it's already home and hooked up. And perfect for New York places because it converts your regular air conditioner into a smart air conditioner. So I hooked it up yesterday and it's kind of fantastic. Quick setup. Any air conditioner that has a remote control. And it's pretty quick. Done and done. I was playing with it. Right now it's kind of, set up. It's in manual mode. But what's cool is you can schedule a schedule for it. It also has thing for it to do a presence detection so that if you're home, it will actually trigger off stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It actually has a lot of cool things in there.
So it's basically the same control the temperature from where you're at, but I guess more in a more simplified way. It's not a learning thing, but you could.
It learns it. It learns it it kind of learns it of your schedule and adjust as you go along. So it's time, home time and stuff like that. But the best part of that is that, especially here, right? You run around and stuff like that. I can have my windows closed and not have the air on, right? And before I leave from the office, turn it on. By the time I'm home, it's already cooled off. And it's like it makes your air conditioner smart air conditioner, basically.
Wow, that's really neat. I might have to get one of those.
Totally worth it if you're putting the Windows stuff in.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
As long as you have a remote, it's a quick setup, pretty easy.
So, but getting back to the Nest analogy, it basically the UI is almost the same in that it learns your habits. You can set schedules.
There's schedules. I think it learns your habits pretty well. I think off the phone is you can set it so that if you're leaving work, leaving work, it automatically will kick in a schedule.
Wow.
I don't need that because my schedule is all over the place. But I really, at the end of the day, I just need it so I can turn it on.
When it comes down to it, I just want to get on the subway and turn this thing on so my apartment isn't 97 degrees.
Right.
Even that's worth the price right there.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, absolutely. But
what does that thing go for?
If I knew, I could tell you, but I actually do not.
We'll put it in the show notes if anybody is curious and wants to see it. What is it called again? Tado?
Tado. It's a German company, so that was kind of fun to get. It's a location based on and off. That's kind of cool. See, oops. Getting there.
Okay, it's your show. Whenever you're ready.
I know. Internet.
210.
210, 221. 220, 221.
20. You know what? I always get that line wrong.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
20, 221.
It's actually not that cheap, believe it or not. About $200.
It's more than the cost of an air conditioner.
There's the small.
But I'm all for. I would rather spend the money up front and save money on the back end.
And I believe with this, you can actually submit this to your electric company as a smart air conditioner to get tax credits.
Giddy up.
I think you can, sir. I think you can. Anyway.
All right. Well, good show, sir.
So, sir, we missed our, third guy, but he's working away.
He's working away. He'll be joining us on our next episode. All right, wrap it up.
Wrap it up, sir. Wrap it up. Peace.